Can you hear me? Welcome back to the stream. Yeah, so sorry for missing the stream this morning, but had some important stuff to do. But we're back at it, and I think all of the performance optimization stuff, card reworking, all that stuff is done now. So we could go back to doing the thing that I wanted to do, which originally kicked off all of that stuff, which is to get that unlock menu working and looking good. So we're going to do that. We're going to spend some time doing that anyway. We'll see where we get with it. But I'm free all afternoon, so we'll see if I'm feeling it. We'll maybe go for a little bit longer today, but we'll see. Feels good to sit down and work on Alchemortis again. Okay, anyway, before I get into it, the game I'm working on today is Alchemortis. It's a dark fantasy roguelite auto-battler where you can use alchemy to create your own builds and synergies. So if that sounds like it's right up your alley, give the Steam page a wish list. I'd appreciate that. You could also support the game on Patreon. If you subscribe at the sponsor tier here for at least 1 month, I will send you an Alchemortis Steam key when the game launches, so you won't need to buy it on Steam. And I'll put your name in the in-game Alchemortis credits. So as a reward or as a little perk for supporting the development of the game before it's even out, you'll get those two things. And hey, who knows? If Alchemortis sells really well, your name could be in the credits. Wouldn't that be cool? But I also have the Udemy courses available for sale. Those are linked below as well, and these will teach you how to build complete games in the Godot engine. This is the co-op online multiplayer game course, but I also have a C# course and I have a GD script course that covers a single player game. So if that sounds interesting to you, I would appreciate it if you would check those out. And you can also join the Discord. That's linked below as well. All right. Hello, Kid Yaz. Welcome back. Christian Brenner. Hello. Hello. Welcome. Ninja Link. Good to see you again. I have arrived. Hello, Nathan. Clickertail. Welcome back. Sorry you missed the past few streams. That's all right. Hello, Co or Cog H. I'm going to say it's Co probably. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Washinator. Welcome back. Good to see you. Okay, so let's go to the... Let's look at the unlock menu. Unlock menu. So all of this optimization stuff has now been merged in, and we can now focus on the unlock menu, which is this screen here. So the idea is for any card... Oh, that's broken. That's kind of cool, but that's broken. For any card that is... Wow, what is going on here? I might have to fix that menu. Maybe we should do that first. For any card that is not a part of a card pack. So a card pack would be like a thematic grouping of cards that when you unlock it, you will gain... Those cards will be added to the loot table. But I also, in the all cards screen here, I want to be able to hide the cards that are not unlocked. So let me back up. Any card that is not a part of a card pack will become unlocked the first time that you acquire it. So the idea is that the cards will be laid out in this screen, but if they are locked, I'll probably like hide the card art and hide the name and all that stuff in the tooltip. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be working towards, but it seems like we have a couple of things to fix on this screen anyway. So let me go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and do that. A lot of cards, yeah. How many total? Well, there's only 143 cards in the game right now, but probably we'll end up closer to, I hope, like 300 or 400. But that would be good. Did you ever solve the problem of scene instantiation? Yeah, that was the whole point of the refactor. Excuse me. The whole point of the refactor was I'm using the rendering server now for the cards. Card rendering server. So in this class, instead of having a whole scene tree that I need to instantiate, it's just a single node, and then I do all of the textures and materials as canvas items through the rendering server. And that helped quite a bit. I ended up removing the ref counted from this base card, as well as the card buff container, just to remove any sort of like Godot interop or additional Godot C# interop during the instantiation of my cards. So that seems to have helped pretty well. I think it takes something like 6 or 7 milliseconds now to put 89 cards in that screen, which is good. Might have to do some more improvements down the line. I think there's stuff that I could do still to improve that even further. But we will burn that bridge when we get there. So let's figure out why this unlock menu is showing the cards multiple times. Oh, I guess I'm not when I go to clear unlocks. Oh, am I not clearing the board anymore? Board, what is it? All cards board dot board inventory component. What does dot clear board do? Does that actually destroy the cards? Oh, it removes the cards. Okay, so I need to clear the board first. Cards on board, board inventory component, get cards on board. For each of our card in cards on board, card.destroy. All right, let's see what that does. Oops, well, we could test it from the actual game. That'll work. Hello, Gustavo. Welcome back. Tasks are not the way to go. No, because there's something about scene instantiation. It just doesn't work well in a thread for some reason. So that was not working. Now, one thing that's kind of a little bit weird here is that when I go to this screen the second time, yeah, we're at almost 7 milliseconds to place all those cards, which is great. We have a 16 millisecond budget. That's one frame at 60 FPS. So still a lot of headroom there to add more cards. So I doubt, like, even without further optimizations, even if the player had 300 cards available to them, I doubt that it would exceed that 16 millisecond budget, but we'll see. We will see. Anyway, so yeah, scene instantiation in a thread doesn't work that well. Hello, Emerson. Welcome back. Holy monolith. Monolith? What are you talking about? Not familiar with Godot. Can a rendering server also handle depth? Are you talking about like the layer that the texture is drawn on? Anyway. So that one thing is bothering me. I don't know why the board layout is changing when I go here and then back. That's kind of weird. Give objects the objects on the layer different depths. Yeah, the way that it works is that every canvas item you create is its own thing, and it will be drawn in the order in which it's added. So if I look at my card rendering server, every time I create a canvas item and add a texture to it, so like create background here, I'm setting the canvas item texture here. That canvas item gets bound to this node 2D, which means that it's going to inherit the transforms of this node 2D. But all of these canvas items are going to be drawn in the order in which they're assigned to this node 2D. So the order of the instantiation matters. So the way that I control the order is I just instantiate these in the correct order. So the background needs to be at the back. So that is instantiated first. And then when I create the art, that is going to be layered on top of the background. So whatever is created first is going to be drawn first, and whatever is created last is going to be drawn last. Question, I know the answer to this is experience, but how do you know what systems you need to implement? Like, how did you decide I need to make the card a rendering server? Well, I implemented it the naive way first, which is just create a scene for the card, get everything into the scene, and see if that works. And it got to the point where that was no longer working. And so so basically, how do you know when to do these systems that you want to implement? The answer to that question is when you have a problem that you need to solve. That is the answer to that question. So I had a problem, which is that instantiating many cards all in one frame was far too slow. And so I needed a different approach to solve that problem. But typically, the way I approach things is I do it the naive way first. I don't give too much attention to optimization, and 99% of the time, that's fine. And then the 1% of the time where that's a problem, you can fix it when it becomes a problem. Up to this point, up until me creating this menu where I wanted to show all the cards, it wasn't a problem. Like, yeah, it was taking more time than it needed to, but it wasn't noticeable from the player perspective. But it became noticeable when I implemented this screen, and so then it became a problem that needed to be addressed. It's refreshing to hear devs who solve problems which exist. I would say that I'm generally a very pragmatic programmer. I just kind of like do the things the easy way first and then fix it later if it needs to be fixed. So many people try to solve problems before they exist, yeah. Guilty as charged, yeah. I mean, that can't necessarily be a problem. I mean, you know, some people, they get into game dev and they're more interested in just like the technical side of things, like building the systems and like crafting something that's very beautiful and easy to use and all that stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, I think my goals are different than a person in that situation, which is like, I actually need to get a game out this year. I need to get this game out this year. And so I need to be cognizant of not spending too much time doing work that doesn't strictly need to be done. All right, so why is this try place card at next available position? I wonder why this isn't working. Set unbounded mode. I wonder what happens if I just call this again? Actually, let me look at what this is actually doing. Set board dimensions, starting dimensions. I wonder if I should just do that. Clear unlocks, and then in here, show all cards. Let's just put this here. I think there's something weird with unbounded mode here, but I'll move that there and get rid of it here. Let's see if that works. Thanks for the breakdown. I've been doing game dev for a little over a month, and so far I've done one game jam and was happy with the result, but my coding was super spaghetti. Yeah, game jams are a whole different beast. Like, my game jam games are almost always spaghettified to some degree as well. You can avoid some of the spaghetti if you know what you're doing, like if you have experience and you know how to build the things right ahead of time. But with game jams, given the huge time constraint, I think spaghetti is to be expected. Spaghetti is definitely to be expected. Okay, so this is working now. I don't know why. I'm kind of curious. This is one of those situations where I'm going to ignore what I just said and I'm going to go dive into this and figure out why this wasn't working before. Is it because it already has... try place card next. I honestly don't think I'm going to be able to figure this out, but let me give it like 2 minutes and see if I can figure it out. Yeah, I have no idea why that was breaking, but okay. We don't have to worry about it. Why, what? I go to my unlock menu here. put this back. I could ask my new best friend, Claude. Maybe Claude could tell me why this is breaking. But it's also fixed by just resetting the unbounded mode. So the first time this is initialized, that's good. But then when I go back, it's not using this column. Why is that happening? Oh, it's also putting the cards down. Oh, that's a hint. Wait a minute. It's actually placing the cards differently, I think. Is it? That might actually be a problem. This might actually be a real problem that I need to solve. Because I want it to be alphabetical left to right, I think. And I think the first time it's loaded, it is alphabetical left to right. And the second time it's loaded, it's not. Yeah, it's alphabetical left to right here. Okay, so that would explain it to some degree, I think. Yeah, that would explain it. Okay, so it's actually ordering these differently. Why is it ordering them differently? Why is it doing alphabetical top to down after? Oh, you know what? I wonder if, because I'm calling clear board, is that... No, that's not undoing the unbounded mode. So set board... Okay, so if I go to try place card at next available position, unlock cells ordered by sequential. Unlock cells ordered by sequential is what? Order by cell to sequential. Cell times dimensions dot y plus cell dot y. Wait a minute. So this... I know why. So when I set the unbounded mode, the board is shrinking back down to having one column or one, yeah. So it's, when I reset the board's unbounded mode, it's going back to a size of 1. And so it still is doing top-down ordering, alphabetical, but it prefers to fill the remaining spaces before it expands the length of the board. But if I keep the length of the board as it was, and then I go back to that screen, now it has plenty of space to go from top down. So that's why it changes the ordering, or it appears to change the ordering. So what I actually want to do is I actually might want to change this to be a little bit different. Unlock square cells ordered by sequential. To make this a little bit more reliable, I can change this. Unlocked. Well, let's just do this. Cell to sequential public int cell to sequential horizontal. Cell y times dimensions dot x plus cell dot x. That seems right to me. So we'll do another. This field can be read only. Private list vector 2i. Unlocked cells ordered by sequential horizontal. Unlocked cells ordered by sequential horizontal. There we go. All right. Cool. Cool. And then what I need to do is try place card at next available position. I'll just do bool horizontal equals false. Whatever. That's fine. Maybe an enum would be better here or something else, but YOLO mode. Okay, so then we'll put this up here. I know there's a bunch of chat to catch up on. I could see it in my peripheral vision. Give me 1 second and we'll be golden, pony boy. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's gonna work, but let's see. Anyway, let's catch up on the chat. Spaghetti's expected. I'm very much in the I don't know what I don't know phase. Yeah, that's a tough phase to be in for sure. Yeah. So you definitely need to give yourself a little bit more patience when you're in that phase. Sometimes I intentionally write spaghetti. Well, welcome Courier Games, by the way. Interesting that you can like streams on YouTube. Does it boost you? I have no idea how the algorithm works. I have no idea. I just throw out these streams out there and people find them. So not everything needs to be a scalable system. Some things are perfectly fine as just one-off solutions, and especially so in jams. Yep. Yeah. Let's see. Hello, Chris. Welcome back. Yeah, it is good to put more thought into games that you're going to be working on for a long time, for sure. Spaghetti's not a big deal if you learn how to properly structure a project into logical modules. You can place old code as you go then. Yeah, and that's true. Yeah, like a modular approach to how you're writing your code is, you know, it isolates issues to just that class or just that specific system. One of the reasons why this card refactor was not so difficult is because I had a card scene around which all the card interactions were centered, and so I just had to basically just copy and paste the script and then just replace all the method implementations. And that's like, I had to make some changes to make it work, but basically just go in and replace all the method implementations, and it was essentially a drop-in replacement for my old card script. So that definitely helped a lot. There we go. This is fixed now. Finally hopped on the Claude train. Yeah, ChatGPT said something to me the other day that just absolutely pissed me off. It said something that implied that I was a child that just didn't understand what I was doing, and I was like, okay, that's it. I'm not going to be talked down to by an AI, you know. So I canceled ChatGPT Plus and I went to Claude. I think Claude is better for programming anyway, but I've also been testing it out just for like planning purposes, because I have like in ChatGPT, I had like a whole Alchemortis project, and I was using that mostly for like brainstorming. It was also finding like reference images for me for like art inspiration for cards and such. And Claude seems to be pretty good at doing that kind of stuff as well. So yeah. All code is both spaghetti and not spaghetti at the same time. Base UI code, modifier systems, base types for physics, all pretty meticulous. Individual effects or one-off visual like particles are heavily spaghettified. Yeah. Yeah, you got it, Nano. Yeah, that was exactly it. I like to ask Claude to debug a thing and then I try to debug it at the same time. Turns into a fun little race. Yeah. Claude was very instrumental in helping me re-architect the code, the stuff. I was actually very surprised at how well Claude understood the Godot rendering server system. Like, it did not hallucinate anything. Like, when it told me that this approach would work to fix some kind of rendering server issue or get the rendering server to work exactly as I wanted it to, it was right 100% of the time. And I was actually shocked by that, because I can't find many good resources on the rendering server, generally speaking. Now, you know, once I got into the rendering server, I was just like, oh, the node 2Ds that you use, the sprite 2Ds and all that stuff, they're just using the rendering server under the hood. Those are just like visual editor ways of configuring the rendering server, basically. So there's like a one-to-one, there is like a one-to-one functionality match between what you see in like a sprite node configuration and what you can do in the rendering server. I'm just a learning process and learned a lot in the game jam. For now, I'm just working on my dream game, which is actually more like 4 smaller games put together into one big game. Awesome. Well, I wish you luck with that. Yeah, jams are a great way to improve. Jams are a very good way to improve. Bold move starting with your dream game. Take it from someone who did that. It's now almost 3 years in. Yeah, my dream game is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game where the players make persistent changes to the world, and I think I can do it in a year. I have a Godot question. You don't have this debug button at the top of the screen when I run the game because you build it. I mean, you can't hide them if you just run project with F5. I don't know what you mean, 22 no woman, if you want to elaborate. I guess it helps to break my dream game down. I want to make a Spore clone, which is an evolution sim. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's see. I might skip some of these chats. I don't think I need to read everyone, but let's see. We definitely need more cards to complete the board. Yeah, more cards are coming. I'm like almost done with the core systems for the game. Like I'm getting to the point where all the features that I want to be in the game are going to be in the game, and then from then on it's just going to be polishing and adding content. So I think the last couple of months of development are going to be very interesting from a content perspective, because I'll just be banging out cards and stuff. So hopefully. Glad to hear you talk about working with AI. I was nervous that people would reject my game and call me a godless heathen for using Claude in my project. I think most people don't really have a problem with using AI as like a research or planning tool or like debugging tool. I think most people have a problem with it when it's used as like a vibe coded thing. And also like the generative AI, like the actual creation of the assets that the player sees. So, you know, I think it helps that I am meticulously creating all the art for this game by hand, and the most that I will do is like if I'm having a tough time imagining a pose or like what something could look like in pixel form, I used to use ChatGPT to generate like basically like concept art, and then I would take elements of that concept art and do it by hand. So like this unlock menu here was basically done by generating concept art in ChatGPT, and this menu actually looks much different than what the context or than what the concept art was generated. But I took some themes from it. Like I took the idea of putting skulls in the corners and then like wrapping these stone pillars with vines, but this looks nothing like what ChatGPT output, because ultimately I didn't really like the approach it took, but it gave me ideas for how to approach this. So you have a whopping 3 likes. Yeah, I'm back to niche e-celeb status, everybody. How are you gonna have to flag your game as using AI? No, Steam clarified their requirements. So they have a thing that where you have to flag your game as AI. They clarified it and said like AI coding assistants are not what they're looking for. They're looking for games that use AI during runtime. So let's say you created a game that uses an LLM in the background for dialogue or whatever. They want you to flag that, and also any like art assets that are either generated, like pre-generated and put into the game, or generated during the game are the requirements for flagging AI. But if you're using like Copilot or like this Claude integration in VS Code, they don't want you to flag your game as AI when you're using those things. I used to have a subscription with ChatGPT. I canceled it. My best friend is Claude now. AI felt very useful to me in a sense of I can endlessly bother with the questions and asking why and squeeze out of it. Yeah, it is so... Like the process of like debugging an issue or learning how to implement an algorithm is just so much nicer when you can just go open your AI window alongside your code and be like, this block isn't working for some reason, or I don't understand how this algorithm is supposed to work. Can you like break it down more? It's like having this little like interactive tutor. It's like a rubber duck on steroids. Like you could just talk to it and like it'll give you ideas and it'll point out like the amount of times where I'm like, this loop isn't working for some reason, and the AI went, oh, you have an off by 1 error, and I was like, oh, like that just saved me so much time, you know, instead of getting into it and like getting stuck on an issue for an hour because of an off by 1 error. I just say there's an error somewhere here, and they go, oh, yep, off by 1, there you go, fixed. It's really nice. I like it. I still don't want to do the whole vibe coding thing though, because I need to understand how my systems are working. And I don't know if I kind of like writing the code anyway, so I don't even know if I'd want to do the vibe coding, but yeah. Okay, itch didn't. Gotcha. Might be more visually pleasing for the skulls to only be at the top. The bottom needs to be less important. So maybe small gray gems would be better. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I would definitely consider doing that. I do have to put a close button on this menu too. So one of these skulls is probably going to go away and be replaced with an X or something. Happy birthday, MKRD. I'm glad I could share your birthday with you. Yeah, it is easier, yeah. You did a small XR game for the client, done the game in the back end while someone on the client side did all the DevOps. It was funny to hear at the end that literally the full game was vibe coded. Oh, yeah. Wiping tears with my money meme. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's, I peruse the Godot subreddit very often, and there are definitely posts there that are like, number one, a Google search would have solved this, and number two, like, this question is so hyper specific to like the code that you're writing, and you didn't share any code. Like, it'd almost be better just to go to an LLM, which I guess is kind of unfortunate because I actually do like going on Godot and helping people, but I'm not rude about it. I never tell anyone like ask an LLM. I just ignore it. I just ignore it. You just want to add a new stat type. Yeah, it's really good for just like using the patterns that you've already established as well. Anyway. All right. The chat keeps... I'm trying to catch up on the chat and it keeps coming, so I might have to put a break. I might have to put a pause, a break point on the chat here so I can actually get some work done, but let's read a couple more. What editor are you using? It's cool that Claude is built right in. Oh, it's VS Code, yeah. It's VS Code. I mean, I like using VS Code even if I'm doing GDScript. Like, you can get GDScript language support in VS Code, plus you have the integrated AI assistant right there, which is nice. And of course, like, since VS Code is a dedicated IDE, you get all kinds of extra features that are just like either not present in Godot or not very good in Godot. Like the find in files menu here in Godot is just like, ick, gross. Find in files in VS Code is a lot nicer because I just get this whole nice list and it updates automatically, and I can do regex search. I think you're not vibe coding unless you stop reading the code. Yeah, I think that seems reasonable to me, a reasonable definition. Any pie in the sky advice for getting into game dev? I'm having a hard time mentally getting past the difficulty of it. I mean, pie in the sky advice? No, I think the difficulty is normal. The difficulty is normal. My pie in the sky advice to you is the only way out is through. Like, I think if you just expect it to be difficult for a while and you go in with that expectation and you keep working at it, even knowing that it's going to continue to be difficult, I think that helps. I mean, I think like a simple reframe of how you think about the difficulty helps. Like, if you just embrace the difficulty and understand that it's going to be difficult and work through it anyway, I think that's maybe the way to go. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna do some more work here and then I'll catch up on the chat again in a few minutes here. Okay, so we fix unlock menu board. What is happening? Did Git break? Okay, so I'm gonna need a whole new... So we got card pack unlock model. Probably gonna want a new... I'm just gonna copy... This might be a copy paste of this script, but that's okay. So we got the card unlock model. This is going to be here. Unlocks by ID is card unlock. We don't need this is pack unlocked. We don't need this either. So this is going to be set card as unlocked. String resource ID. we'll change this to card ID. Okay, so we go to the unlocks manager. Okay. So this is card pack owner unlocked. So we'll change that to is card pack owner unlocked. Is card pack owner unlocked. Okay, and then we can do public static bool is card unlocked. String card ID. Now we're going to need to do something a little bit interesting here. Return is card pack owner unlocked, card ID, or, well, let's just do this. If R unlocks ignored, return true. Data initializer dot unlock model dot card. Oh, I need to put that in there. So we're going to say a card is unlocked if it is part of a pack that is unlocked. No, wait, that's not going to work. I might need to change this, actually. I might need to change. I might need to make this a little bit more explicit. Public static bool is owned by is card owned by card pack, string card ID. Okay. My cat was licking a place on the carpet where I just sprayed toxic chemicals. That's always fun. Anyway, how am I going to do this? Unlocks manager is card pack owner unlocked. We'll do unlocks manager dot is card owned by card pack, card ID, or I mean, I can simplify this a little bit. So if it's not a part of a card pack, or it is owned by a card pack, and it's unlocked. Let's do an error in here. Do I want to actually do a real error? We'll do that. So this should be an error condition. I shouldn't be checking this unless I know the card is owned by a card pack already. Okay, unlocks manager. Is card unlocked? This can just be that. Now this is not really going to be used anywhere except in the unlock screen, but I need to be able to set this card as unlocked. How am I going to do that? Where's the unlocks manager? Is that an auto load? It is. So I'll just do this the easy way to start. Public static bool set card unlocked card ID, string card ID. Okay. So now I need to do what? Do I want to do this in here? Register player board, register player inventory board. So I should be able to do player board dot connect board dot signal name dot card no, player board dot board inventory component connect board inventory component dot signal name dot card placed callable dot from base card ref oh, it's got to be an at position as well. Card placed on player board. Okay. We'll do the same thing here. Okay, so now we do this on card placed on player board. Card ref dot value dot card definition resource dot ID. Okay, I think that will work, but we'll see. Yeah, I replaced Stack Overflow and other stuff like that for me, yeah. To me, you will always be niche. That's so sweet. Paradox of wanting your faves to be popular and successful, but stay niche and down to earth, yeah. Embrace the difficulty. Demoed your game a few days ago. All the content I spent all day working on, nobody actually made it to it. Then my laptop battery died, but I got some good reactions. Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, that's something, I mean, I know it's not the same situation, but that's something that I experienced when I first started doing game jams, as I was so worried about like making sure there was enough content and everything. And then there was one game jam in particular where me and my friend made it, and we made all kinds of levels and we did all kinds of interesting stuff, but the game was so hard that basically no one saw any of the content that we built. So yeah, that's kind of like, that happens sometimes. But you can learn from that too. You can learn from the fact that no one got to the content. Balance is still not right, and it's actually way more fun if I just give the player all the moves from the start. Not sure where that leaves me. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta rework things. Follow the fun. Now let's charge the player for unlocking card, make it pay to win. Classic cat eugenics. That's just how cats work sometimes. I'm hoping it will be fine. I mean, I think it's dry now, but... Oh, something that can kill me, yeah. All right, thanks, MKRD. Happy birthday again. And thank you, thank you. All right. It's a little bit early for my break, but I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break here. And when I come back, we're going to actually get this unlocks menu working so that any of the cards that are not unlocked are going to be grayed out, or not grayed out, but like blackened. And then we will have to update the tooltips as well to account for the fact that we don't want to reveal any information about the card if it's not unlocked. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But I need a quick 3-minute break, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, everybody. Your favorite niche e-celeb is here once again. Oh, and I forgot something. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back again. I disappeared into the void and came back from the void, safe and sound. From a design standpoint, you can make cards that are locked take on a single stackable vine texture that spans them all. It looked good, I think. Like their outlines are the same, just the texture. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that could work. So the cards that are unlocked obviously pop out from the locked ones. Yeah, that would work. Maybe even give the vines texture that affects you apply to the screen when pausing the game where it dims down the colors. Yeah, that would be interesting for sure. Just finished building a Chip 8 emulator. What is a Chip 8 emulator? That idea sounds cool, the Vine idea. I think that would require me to group the cards by locked versus unlocked, which is definitely doable. But let's just see if I could get this working first, and then we can think about that. So if I go to my unlock menu now, I think I have unlocks ignored as well, if I'm not mistaken. Ignore unlocks. Let's turn that off. So now I need to go to my unlock menu. Basically, if a card is locked, what should I do here? I'm gonna get rid of some of these logs. I don't need them anymore. If unlocks manager.is card. Oh, I need like a way of like determining the overall unlock status. I'm just going to do something weird here. I don't know what to call this, but is card overall unlocked? Maybe if there's a better name, you could put it in the chat, but I'm going to take this. And if I look at here, we're going to do this. And oh wait, this is not the same exact logic, but that's okay. Is owned by Cardpack. Is owned by Cardpack and is Cardpack owner unlocked? Or is card unlocked? Card ID. Maybe we'll just do this one first because that's going to be the most common situation. And we can collapse this down. Okay, we'll just do that. So if not unlocks manager dot is card overall unlocked card ID, then we're going to do let's go to my card rendering server. Let me think. Public void set card as locked. So I think the easiest thing to do here would be to, I think I have the art. Am I storing the RID for the art? Yeah, RID art. So the easiest thing to do here for now would be to do rendering server.set canvas item set visible art RID to false. And we'll do card. I actually don't know if this is going to be... No, it should be available now. I think I might change this. I might make this... Well, I don't know. It's a little bit tricky to coordinate these two things being attached to each other. So a base card is the purely logical representation of the card. This is where all the card functionality is. And then the card rendering server here, this is the purely visual side of the card. Now, I can have situations where I have a base card, but have no need to create the visual representation of the card. Those might be in situations where, for instance, I'm generating the enemy board configuration, and so I'm just dealing purely with just the card data at that point. The visuals will be instantiated when the enemy card board is actually created in the scene tree, right? So I have a situation where I can have a base card without a card node, or I can have a card node attached to the base card. And I have to be careful because, you know, this card node is not going to be present until it's been instantiated, which only really happens when it gets added to the scene tree. So I just need to be careful about that, but we'll just do set card as locked here. Let's see what happens. I think all these cards should basically be empty now. Chip 8 is an interpreted language from the 1970s for making games for 8-bit computers. It's very simple to emulate. Took me only 2 days and 750 lines. Basically, like an interpreted assembly. Interesting. That does sound like a fun project. Oops. I forgot to update this. Okay, all of my cards are empty now. Yeah, it would be cool to have vines sneaking through, like if I just made a texturable vine go through the center of the card or something. But like I said, I think that might require... That may require me to group them by locked versus unlocked, because if I want to have like a contiguous vine, I could theoretically have this card, like all these cards unlocked here, and then this one is not unlocked. And then the vine couldn't really go anywhere, right? But that seems to be working. So now what happens if I run the game? Run the game, I go to my unlocks menu, and yeah, all of those cards now are unlocked because those are in my inventory to start. And if I go to a booster node, if there is such a thing as a booster node, there's a booster node. If I go to my booster node now and I take a new card, we should be able to see that in there as well. So I should see Idol and Hag and Heart. Unlocks menu, Idol, Hag, and Heart. There we go. Cool. So that's working. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna need to fix that too. I think I've fixed it now. Technically, you can make one stackable texture that's as big as the biggest card, then sample sections that fit in each card shape you have, then if locked, use the vine that matches the card shape. Oh, you're saying just put a vine over each card rather than having a vine snaking to connect all of them? Why is that still working? I don't understand that. I'll just put a signal in here, I guess. I'm gonna need to probably do this for everything now, actually. Emit signal closed. Pause menu. Unlock menu. Dot closed. Plus equals. Enable buttons. I'm going to disable the buttons here. Okay. That's going to be a problem for all the other buttons as well. So I'll need to address that. Why do we not have a donut-shaped card? I think there will be one eventually. Auto tile kind of thing covering them all, so they're kind of like combined into a big clump of who knows how many cards. Oh, I got you. Yeah. We can definitely play with it. They would be unified into a texture as per what I'm thinking, and since each card has its own visual, it'd be easier to just replace that visual than make it a mask for them all or something. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll have to see. We'll see what we can do about that. Okay, so that button is no longer working. I can do this, though. Anyway, that's not really breaking anything, so we won't worry about that just yet. So, I mean, that's basically working. The tooltip is the big thing now that I need to get working. Guess they'd be non-contiguous and still have that effect with multiple patches of vine or whatever effect it would be. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So the tooltip is still giving away the card here. Card tooltip hooks. Well, the easiest thing to do would be to show locked info. Go to the card tooltip here. I mean, we basically changed the title to locked. Change that to stat container. Scroll container. Context container. So we need the stat container. Or did I call it stats container? Stat container, and then what? Context container. Okay, let me just see if I can get this to work. Card mouse events manager. Add card tooltip hook, remove card tooltip hook. Okay. So we'll do mouse events manager, get card mouse events manager, remove card tooltip hook. Oh, I need to specify the action too. Lame. Is this right? I think that's right. Yeah. Okay, let's see if that works. I'm gonna need to add some more information. Oh, it didn't work. Ah. Doesn't work in that screen because I don't have the card tooltip when I run that scene standalone. That's all right. We'll just run the game then. Okay, that should work. We'll add another piece of locked info here. Negative info label. Tooltip dot show negative info. Maybe it shouldn't be negative, but whatever. Something like that. Oh, but I'm gonna need to do this. Let's see. Unlocks manager dot is card owned by card pack card definition resource dot ID. Something like that. This card can be unlocked by unlocking... Oh, I don't have a name for this. Okay. I'll just hard code that for now because I don't have a name for those unlock packs yet. So, okay, so if it's owned by the card pack, we're going to show that. Otherwise, something like that. Anyway, we'll see what happens. How long should someone spend per day on a game dev to become good? That's a good question. I mean, any amount of time that you spend on game dev is good. It's just, you know, it's going to be a question of how long does it take? So, yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a question of how long you should spend per day. It's just like, obviously, if you spend less time per day, it's going to take longer to get to the point where you want to be. And the more time you spend on it per day, but there's a limit to that too, right? Like you're not going to get better at game dev by just spinning your wheels on a problem and just like spending hours on it. So it's a balance, you know, you've got to take breaks, you got to think about things. It's a process for sure, but if you could dedicate an hour a day, I think you'll improve a lot faster than you think. What genre of music do you listen to while working on Alchemortis? Metal. That's basically the only genre of music I listen to. When I listen to music, a lot of times I'll work on Alchemortis and I won't have anything playing. I'll just be sitting here in silence. I should set a minimum size on this card tooltip, I think. Do I have a minimum size somewhere? These have a minimum size, I think. No, they don't. That also doesn't have a minimum size. What the heck is going on? 128. Let's do 164 as the minimum size. Let's see what that does. Let's see what that does. You're welcome, Seastroll. Welcome back to the stream, by the way. Actually, that might actually be too much. We'll just do 128. Yeah, that works. Oh, I can still inspect the card too. Oops. I have to fix that. Surprise! Okay. Now we got to figure out how to disable that. What does this look like? I'm also curious. What does the card pack look like before I have it unlocked? Oh, maybe I don't have that situation. Okay, so there's a lot of work to do on the unlock system, I guess. Will there be special unlock conditions for cards, or will they just be unlocked by acquiring them? Some cards will be unlocked by conditions, and some cards will just be, you know, they'll just be hidden until you find them in-game. But, so like, the idea here is the deep sea pack, this giant squid and this jellyfish, and there will probably be others here too. These cards will not be unlocked until you meet a certain condition. So I haven't really decided like what those conditions would be, but you could imagine stuff like win 5 runs and then you get this new card pack and that just gets added to the loot pool, right? Or another one might be like apply 1,000 total poison damage, right? And that could be an unlock condition. So the idea behind the meta progression of this game is that I'm not going to do like a meta progression currency. I really don't like that system very much. So I'm just going to make it goal based. So if you want to unlock something, doesn't matter if you're not farming enough currency or whatever. If you want to unlock something, you just have to like meet certain conditions, right? And some of the conditions might be relatively difficult, you know. One condition might be, you know, win a run using, you know, one of your original cards or whatever, something like that, right? Or win a run only ever using one minion card on your board at a time, something like that. And so there will definitely be things like if you want to get the unlock, you're like, I'm gonna basically force you into a certain kind of play style for certain of the unlocks. And I think that's just gonna be more interesting too, because I think it's gonna, instead of players just going after the builds that they prefer every single time, it's gonna get them out of their comfort zone. Like they're gonna have to take a different approach to, you know, thinking about how to do a maximum amount of physical damage is going to be a little bit different than thinking about how to do a maximum amount of poison damage. And like playing with only one minion ever is going to require you to pay attention and make sure you're not putting a minion card on your board accidentally when there shouldn't be one, you know. So that's the way I'm going to approach it. We'll see how it goes, but I'm hoping that a very basic unlock system will be in place for the next playtest, so you all can tell me what you think about it. Sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be cool. So there's a lot of stuff to do here. We got to disable that card inspector. I guess what I'll do is I'll just do a hash set or something in here. Private, read-only, hash set, base card, card inspector, locks. Public void add card inspector lock, base card, public void add or remove card inspector lock, base card. Okay, and then we'll go up here and we'll just say wherever show inspector here. If not card inspector locks dot contains mouse over card dot base card. We'll just do that. Cool. So that should work, and then I just got to go to my unlock menu here. Mouse events manager dot add card inspector lock card. Mouse events manager dot remove card inspector lock card. Why is there a free slot in the last column on the right? Does the board expand on X and Y axis or only on Y axis? Well, the thing about that is that I need room for a scroll bar. So that's a little scroll bar gutter, I guess you could say. And I also don't think that there's actually enough room to show. I think this might be like 16 pixels rather than 18. So I was off a little bit. I mean, I didn't actually plan for this screen to look like this. This was kind of like an afterthought, but I do need room for a scroll bar here, so that's where that's going to go. How's it going? Hello, OK Water. OK, welcome back. Got VS Code set up with Claude. This is a game changer, yeah. Actually, it has access to my whole project, can explain things real time. What a time to be alive. Yeah. Yeah, it is a time to be alive for sure. We also want to disable card highlighting in here as well. Cool. Very cool. So yeah, showing a better unlock state there, but let's disable the query highlighting when I hover over a card in this screen. I think that's just adding a bunch of noise that doesn't need to be there. But we'll figure that out in a second. Okay, and if I go to I can just check my, I don't really need to check it, but I can look at my alchemortis.json. Oh, it didn't save. Well, that's all right. Probably because I didn't end the run, I guess. We're gonna have to think about the save points in this game, when things get saved and whatnot. But that's okay. Little dim lock in the center of each cell would look good. Yeah, somebody was saying like do like a vine texture over the locked cards. I'm thinking about going all the way and actually like drawing a bespoke vine for each different shape of card, but that might be a little bit too much. Chains could be cool, yeah. Chains could be cool. But we'll see. We will see. So I need to disable that query highlighting. How am I going to do that? I think the query highlight component is on the board itself. Yeah, here. So I could just disable that, I think. Why do I keep putting bool there? I don't understand. Anyway, then the unlock menu here, that should be as simple as doing all cards board dot. Oh, I don't have access to the query highlight component. Am I not actually grabbing that anywhere? I guess I'm not. That should work. Now if I go to my unlocks menu, yeah, nothing is highlighting anymore. That's fine. Like, this is not an actual board, so I don't need to show the interactions here. But yeah, that works. Cool. All right, we need to do some more work on the unlocks now. I'm going to need a title for these various unlocks. So yeah, I'm gonna need to probably figure that out. Maybe I just put the title. Maybe I just put the title on this card pack unlock definition resource itself. I was thinking about, because like all these unlock resources, they extend this unlock definition resource, and this unlock definition resource has a script associated with it, which is a base unlock. And this base unlock has a try unlock method that passes in a bunch of context here. And then whenever I save the run, or whenever I merge the run statistics back into the global statistics here, I update the unlock state. So I iterate over all of the unlock resources, and I check, I run this try unlock, and then I can basically isolate the unlock conditions to the specific unlock, and then just in a very generic way, just iterate over them and check. Will they have other conditions for unlocking, or is it only coming across them in a run? No, there will be other conditions, yeah. Yeah. I'll just reiterate real quickly so you don't have to scroll back. So things like apply X amount of poison during a run, beat the game using only one minion only on your board, things like that. So the goal is to get the unlock conditions to get the player to play the game a little bit differently. If you want to be a completionist and unlock everything and see all the content that the game has to offer, you're going to have to meet certain requirements during actual gameplay to get that. And I hope that's more appealing than like a meta currency system, but we will see. We will definitely see. All right, we're going to do some more work on the unlocks, but I need to take another quick break. So when I come back, we will work a little bit more on this card pack unlock definition resource. This needs a title and everything. And then we also need to actually hide this card pack unlock in the screen here. So I have not, according to the data, I haven't unlocked this card pack, but it's not indicating that, it's still showing me the cards. So I need to be able to replace that here. But anyway, we'll get that done. I'll be right back, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I actually heard a tail end of when I joined it make the connection very cool. Gotcha, I gotcha. You like that? I think it'll work good, but this is what playtesting is for. Could be a combination of meta currency and conditional unlocks. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if that way of doing things is not satisfying, then you know, we could let the playtesters inform how that system ultimately develops. But I really want to get away from, if there's anything that I can do, measly old me in like, you know, kind of changing, not changing because this has been done before, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do all of the tropes of like roguelite games, right? I want to try at least something a little bit different, even if it's been done before. But I think many of you would agree that most roguelite games, the way they do it is they just give you a currency that you can only earn by like beating the game, and then you use that to unlock like the Hades model, right? So, I mean, I tried to do something different with Gunforge too, where there was a meta currency, but it was the same as the in-run currency. So there was this tension between, or at least I was trying to do a tension between, do you spend your money during the run, or do you save it so that you can get an upgrade outside the run? I thought that was, I mean, that may not have been the best executed system. I think there's a lot of problems with Gunforged, but I think in principle, that's a cool idea. But anyway, I enjoy both Balatro and Slay the Spire's way of doing unlocks. Balatro, you come across stuff, but there are some conditions. Slay the Spire is just XP with predetermined unlocks at each level. Yeah, I was thinking about doing a Slay the Spire style thing too, like the Battle Pass model where you just need to like grind out XP to get unlocks. And that can be a very compelling way of doing things too, because, you know, I've definitely played like Battle Pass systems, which is just, I'm just using that as a word to mean there's like a linear progression that you have certain unlock points at. And that has kept me playing, like, you know, Arc Raiders is doing that with their like events, right? Where it's, the events are free, you don't have to pay for it, but it's like every 50 points you get this new thing, and oh, you're only 3 unlocks away from this really good one. So it's like, well, let's keep playing, you know. I'm not sure I like the currency from Megabonk. Felt like I had to use the things I unlocked, and if they weren't good, it didn't feel great. Oh, I like learning I unlocked a bunch of things at the end of a run without intentionally going for them. Yeah. Everspace only gives you money for the next run, which seems to work well. Oh, that's interesting for upgrades. Yeah, that is cool. I haven't played Everspace though. Maybe I should. Okay, so we need to add a title to this card pack. Export public string title. Ooh, that was a lot of work. That was a lot of code I just wrote right there. Man. So we'll call that deep C. Flavor text. We don't need flavor text necessarily. Unlock condition. So I don't have an unlock condition set in place for this, but now that we have the deep C there, what we can do is we can go to unlock item. Let's see. Set card pack unlock resource. Title label.text is equal to card pack card unlock resource dot title, and then we'll just put pack at the end of this. I think that'll sound nice. Maybe it won't. So this will be like deep sea pack, or like torture pack, you know, or undead pack, right? Stuff like that. Shrima, what are you doing? What are you doing? I wish you could see how cute this cat is right now. Oh, where are you going? Where are you going? Okay, let me see if I can make... I think she's cold. Hold on a second. It's still winter, isn't it, Sharima? Isn't it? Let's see if I can fix this for you. There we go. Is that better? Okay. So, and then what I want to do also is go to my unlock menu, which I just was at. And instead of hard coding deep C here, we want to get that pack. Ah! Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you, cat. Equals unlock registry dot get card pack for card ID. Pack resource dot title. We'll just call this pack as well here. So I'm pretty sure that's going to work, but we might as well give it a shot. And then I need to display maybe like a question mark or something. So go to unlocks, card packs, deep C pack. I'm also not using the flavor text here. So that's fine. Maybe we'll just maybe we'll take that. So this is just hard coded for everything. So I need to start gradually replacing this. But we'll take this, we'll put this in the flavor text here. And then for the unlock menu or unlock item here, do we have the flavor text label? Not yet. Oh, it's a description label. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, the description label. Wait, does it think that I've unlocked the game? Maybe it has. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have unlocked it. Okay. I'm going to clear out my save data then. You know what I could do is I could make the description label equal to the flavor text when it's unlocked. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. So let me clear out maybe this was already working the way that I wanted it to. Let me delete my save file. Then we'll go in here. Careful, it's addictive. 6-pack. Free pack, yeah. Backpack. Cat pack. Hello, Diligence Humility. I'm trying to use instance placeholder and mark load as placeholder, but I can't drag instance into export. Oh, public instance placeholder. Yeah, so the problem there is that it doesn't become an instance placeholder until runtime. So if you try to export a reference to an instance placeholder like that, it's not going to work. It gets replaced by instance placeholder when it actually runs the game, but that is not the case in the editor. So the editor doesn't know that it's a type of instance placeholder, it just has that little flag set. It's a little bit wonky, but that's unfortunately how it works. Why is this saying it's unlocked? I don't understand that. Is it just auto unlocking? I don't understand. Why is that unlocked? Quit to menu, that should force a save, I believe. Card pack, yeah, it's not unlocked. Something's funky. Did I do my logic wrong in here? Oh, I have and false here. Oops. That would be why. I must have been testing it and just forgot to remove that. Okay. And we don't have the unlock condition, that's okay. What is the current unlock condition? So deal at least 10 damage. 10 total. So this is not going to be the final unlock condition, obviously. But I'm just going to put that in there so I know what it looks like. Still don't get it, just going to do it the traditional way, but your way is very effective, clean, and live preview. Yeah. Yeah, I like using it. Cool. Still got a problem with this not being filled up. I don't know if I want to address this because I think when I have all the unlock conditions in place, it's going to be more like the artifacts menu where it's going to have to scroll. So I don't necessarily want to worry about this just yet. Might look a little bit weird until then, but Deep Sea Pack, what's up? So we can actually get these working too. That text working. I mean, we got to do it at some point, so might as well do it now. Title label dot text is equal to character definition dot display name. Description label dot text. Yeah, it can work. Yeah, maybe I'll just do that. Maybe I'll just show the flavor text. Do we need to show the unlock conditions? Like, would it be useful as a player to still see the unlock condition after you've unlocked it, or do you not care about that anymore? Because I was having this problem of like, where do I put flavor text? Maybe it makes sense. Oh, but these are artifact descriptions though. So for here, this shows the unlock condition here, but when you unlock it, this will switch to the flavor text. So it won't tell you anymore like what you did to unlock it, which I could see being bad if you're curious, like, I don't remember how I got that. But at the same time, I need to figure out a place for the flavor text. Saw you're short on it. If you ever make it a little bit more in-depth tutorial, I'll be there for you. Awesome. Thank you. Keep them. Trust me. Please keep them. All right. Well, we still got to figure out what to do with the flavor text then. So maybe I'll slightly change this wording. So if I'm going to show it always, then it needs to be worded in a way that makes sense for both the lock and unlock situations. You know what? I wonder... Yeah, I don't know what to do about this flavor text. What if I just... Should I just make the flavor text the same color? Is that going to be too much text? That might actually work. Replace the unlock condition with the flavor text and how you unlocked it on a hover menu. Yeah, that's another option. Sorry, I'm just reading through these. It's kind of fun to see all the artifacts just in a list like this. Lifesteal probably needs to be a highlighted word, like a keyword. This broken sundial needs to be redone with the new map layout. Okay, anyway. This one is unlocked here. But yeah, so we've got the flavor text label now, so maybe I'll just start integrating that. So this can always be set. And then the flavor text label can always be set as well. Excuse me. Card unlock resource. Dot flavor text. No. Flavor text label dot text is equal to flavor text. Okay. Actually, we don't need this here. Oh, I'm gonna have 3 different things here. Oh no. I need the unlock condition, the description, and the flavor text. Ah. Okay. So we can rename this. Let's duplicate this. And then we'll rename this to unlock condition label. This might be too much text, but we'll see. Artifact description label, and then flavor text label. So down here, okay, let's see what that does. Do you feel like streaming while coding is more mentally taxing and reduces your efficiency? When I used to stream and do game dev, it felt very exhausted by it. Yeah, I mean, generally when I stream, like, I won't stream the things that take a lot of focus. Like, I didn't stream most of the card rendering server refactoring because, number one, I needed to focus on what I was doing, but number two, I didn't really know what I was doing. So the streams would have largely just been me goofing off and, like, trying to figure things out and doing things that didn't work. Why is this not working now? But generally when I stream, like the things that I stick to are the things that I like know how to implement or I'm not going to have too much difficulty with. Why is this not working now? Object reference not set to an instance of object. Flavor text label. Oh, I didn't. It's because I didn't mark that as unique name. Being in my no way being in my presence would cause anyone exhaustion. Yeah. Percent of the time do you do game dev off stream? 40% on, 60% off. I usually do like I've been working a lot more recently because I've been trying to get the rendering server stuff done. But I would say I'd probably do on average like maybe 6 hours a day, and I stream for usually 2 hours. So, you know, whatever that math works out to be, 30% of the time, I guess. 33% of the time. 33.33 repeating, to be exact. Okay, so I don't have flavor text for anything. Oh, it's only showing the flavor text. Why is this not working now? We're going to get this artifact working. Hold on a second. Oh, I need to set this to visible. Okay. Goodness gracious. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. Actually, it's 3.3. No, it's not. Maybe in computing. Maybe in computing that's true. Okay, this artifact description label now needs to be... Now hold up a second. Oh, I don't have an unlock condition for this, right? It should still be empty, though. Unlock condition description. I am not entirely sure why that isn't working. It should be setting it to... I mean, maybe if I do string.empty. I don't know why that's not working. Should be empty. Oh, right. No, I know why. If it doesn't have an unlock condition, so let's do this. Bool has unlock condition true here. False. Maybe I could just merge this into one thing, but that's okay. unlock condition label dot text is equal to unlocked by acquiring during a run. Okay. Maybe the 4th or 5th or 6th or 7th time is a charm. So this might be too much text. I still need to figure out what to do, because the flavor text would be another line down here. So there might be a better way to segment this information out, but we'll figure that out. This flavor text shouldn't be visible. We won't make the flavor text visible until you actually unlock the card pack. That'll be a little bit of an extra incentive. We should probably do that for all of them, actually. So flavor text label.visible equals false. Okay. Just a glimpse into how computer science my life has become, yeah. Gotta follow the convention of italicized flavor text, that's the best part. The problem is my Pixel font doesn't support italicization. And so if I wanted to italicize it, I'd either have to find a different font, which I don't, like, find a different font to replace this base font in the entire game, or find a font that looks similar enough to this, but italic. And I think that, number one, I don't want to replace this font because I like this font a lot. I think it looks really good. It's like the right mix of stylized for Pixel games, but also readable. I find it to be like a very readable font. And there's no italic, so I guess I could do some looking and see if I can find an italic font that looks similar. That might be okay, but let's see. This is all done. Oh, I don't want them to update board state contingent abilities either. I need to do that as well. Okay. Anyway. We'll figure it out. Can you do like a shear transform on the text? That is a good question. That might be something that I experiment with. My hunch, though, is that that's just going to garble the text quite a bit. It's not going to preserve the nice pixel edges in the same way. So I doubt that that's going to work, but it's a good idea and maybe something worth trying. What about modifying the font to have both normal and italicized? I don't feel like drawing my own font. Somebody has a lot of work to do. I do, yeah. Look at all this work. Look at all this work. All right, well, I was hoping to go a little bit later today this stream, but I'm actually running out of steam. I had a very exhausting morning, so I'm going to end the stream there, but I will be back at it tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, so I hope to see you there. We'll probably continue on with a lot of this unlock stuff here, and we'll get some more of that done, and I have so much work to do, but it's all right. It's okay. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I very much appreciate it. And if you are interested, you can wishlist this game, Alchemortis, on Steam. I would very much appreciate it if you would do that. Helps me out a ton. It's a dark fantasy roguelite auto battler where you can use alchemy to create your own synergies and builds. So anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Check out the links in the description below for all the ways you could support me. The Discord is also linked below if you want to hop in and hang out. We've got a good community over there. So basically what I'm trying to say is you're missing out if you're not in the Discord server. See, that's marketing. Anyway, that's an acronym for goodbye. Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. Thanks again, everybody, and take care, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Bye-bye.